Wait, I have to start.
There's so many cameras.
Hi everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Is that one live? Oh yeah, that one live. That was live. That was live.
59 still. It doesn't matter. Wait, how do you check? Wait, you can check. Wait, is this on Instagram?
This on
That's cool. Hi Michelle. Hi Michelle. Hi, me. Is this mic working? Someone type in the chat if you can hear me.
Hi, Sophia.
Can you hear it?
Can I see? No connection.
Who's your favorite?
Wait, can you hear me? If you're on YouTube Live, can you hear me? That'd be cool.
Wait, can I connect to Wi-Fi?
Yeah. Wait, I'm scared it's gonna because all three of these are connected.
I can't continue recording. Or I can't
Wait, everyone introduce
Okay, I'll start first. We're gonna introduce ourselves. Best person person first. Hello, if you don't know me already, I'm Wilson. I serve as Division 10 South Lieutenant Governor of the best division. You. I'm not ugly. Hey, why are you watching guys live but not my live?
Wait, I have to go live again on our div page.
Wilson, you're a fat dog.
Trying to fix it. Wait, guy,
I'm scared my internet's gonna go out. Hi everyone, my name is Guy Sun Cao, and I serve Division 35 West as the Lieutenant Governor. There's so many things. Hello, hello. So there's like 4 cameras in front of us. There's one over here, over here, over here, and over here. So there's a lot. Alex. Oh, thank you, Casey. I love you. This is a professional live stream. Get your butt out.
Hi everyone. Follow me on Instagram. Hi.
Out.
Hi, I'm Guy from Gallatin. I'm Guy from Gallatin, Division 35 West Lieutenant Governor, and I'm here to serve you.
How do I see? Can I watch?
Okay, so basically during the live stream, we're gonna go over some of the questions that you guys turned in on our Google Doc first, and then if you guys have any questions, you can just type them in the comments. So if you're on YouTube, go ahead and type it on group chat. If you're on Instagram, comments, and we have Facebook Live too. So just go ahead and type it there also. Okay, so I hope everyone can hear me. We're gonna go over our first question, which is why did we run for lieutenant governor? So I'll go first. So the main reason I ran for lieutenant governor was that I love with Key Club and Division 35 West, and I was seeing all the that were coming into my life because of Key Club. And I've always had like a love for Key Club since my freshman year. Active in Key Club and getting to know everyone, getting to love service. It just really pushed me to be lieutenant governor, even though I knew it was a hard position and it was a big responsibility. I still wanted to take on the challenge and just see what I can do and really push myself. And it's been a really great experience, and I really don't regret it because I've made so many new friends, like here, really great people. So it's been an amazing experience. So I'm gonna hand it off to Marge.
The reason why I decided to run for lieutenant governor is, after being Key Club for so many years, you kind of do develop like a love for this organization. Definitely, I was an executive assistant the term before, and when I was at that point, I realized like, hey, what's my next step? And I kind of figured that, can I really do lieutenant governor? Am I really ready for this? Impact on the people's lives, as well as like past LTGs who've made impacts on my lives, as well as other club officers or members, I can really give you that really that big outreach. And when you're definitely in a higher position where a lot and you are expected to lead by example, just reaching out to people where people see as oftentimes unapproachable, and like it's kind of a double-edged sword where you're in this high position but people don't really busy to interact with them. But I really want to kind of change that. Definitely be the lieutenant governor who's able to reach out to people, and because oh, actually people joining Key Club for a social reason often sounds negative, a negative connotation, but one of the reasons why people join Key Club and one of the reasons why people stay in Key Club is because maybe that club officer, maybe that member reached out to you, and then that's the reason why you stay. So I really want to be the person who develops their love and passion for. What's you want to go on?
Hi. Okay, I don't think I need that. I think we should. Okay, as I was listening to them, I was low-key reading the comments of people roasting me already. But that's one of the perks of, at least for me being lieutenant governor, that you get a lot of people roast you. But initially, what drew me in running first place is well, I was spirit coordinator. I was not on DLT. And being spirit coordinator, it wasn't too high of a position, so I didn't really know. I didn't really think that I had enough to air be lieutenant governor, but I've kind of developed this philosophy that what you know now is it just matters about what if you're determined or not, and you have the willingness to learn. Like I've always had that kind of ambition, so I, with the help and the convincing of staff, people tell me to run. I kind of made that step, the first few steps, and just kind of rolled on from there, and I'm like really enjoying it. Lieutenant Governor, one of the most rewarding positions. I took this opportunity.
Oh, okay, so the next question is, what has been the most difficult part about being a lieutenant governor?
Okay, so one huge difficulty throughout my term is personal. So on a personal level, things throughout my term, setting a really high standard for myself. Sometimes I'm not able to achieve that, and I can like the sense high, yeah. And it's been more destructive than constructive, and eventually I kind of learned how to stop and take in reality and what's actually going to happen as opposed to what I want.
Okay. I guess the biggest difficulty. I guess the biggest difficulty for me personally, when I did become lieutenant governor, is definitely being in Key Club. People, there's a hierarchy where and then school and then Key Club, but oftentimes when you're lieutenant governor, you have to make that adjustment and put Key Club on your top priority. I'll be sacrificing time with my close friends or my family where I'd be like, hey, I can't hang out, or hey, I can't go out to dinner because stuff to do. And I guess it's definitely a rewarding experience as well as like kind of a sad thing where there's times with your closest friends, people who aren't. I believe we all can agree that we have friends who aren't particularly in Key Club. When you guys do become lieutenant governor, you guys make Key Club such a big priority where a little bit, and like, sometimes I even struggle for that. So still, they love and support me, so it means a lot to me.
Yeah, I definitely agree about the friends part because it's hard as like someone at your school for other people, where you're coming from, the things that you're kind of going through, and you do tend to lose a bit of some people, but I'm especially thankful for people who have the patience with me, and like I know not everyone understands like what you're going through as a lieutenant governor. That's why like district board has been extremely helpful with just being a support system for me. But most difficult part for me would definitely be the different sacrifices that you have to make as a lieutenant governor. Similar in March, to sacrifice, sadly, family time a lot, because a lot of Saturdays, as lieutenant governor, you're out on different events. We even have a training conference. So you have to sacrifice a lot of the times that you have with your family. Like, you have to give up like a family like enough for a DCM that you might have. So pretty difficult in that sense for me. Like I think with my mom, she doesn't live with me, so a lot of my times, my Saturdays are going to see her. But then a lot of times it's DCMs and different events come up, so it's hard in that aspect. But you just have to push through it till the end of the term, and then you get a whole lifetime with your friends and family. So this is just like a 1 year thing. It's like a 2 year thing. I don't know. Okay. Let's do that one.
Okay. This is from Division 35 East from Lini Chen. How do we impeach the 35 East Lieutenant Governor?
Okay, that was good. All right. Let me see. Okay.
What? No.
Okay.
I'll be 100. I'll say 100.
How is the DOT chosen, and what is the regency? So I guess that's a two-part question. So what
How's
answer the
it-
first one? So how is DOT chosen? Like this step.
I guess it does vary between Lieutenant Governor to Lieutenant Governor. For me personally, I definitely look at their past experiences, their qualifications, as well as how government. You usually do want to have qualifications as your number one priority, but you definitely do need to take into account how team environment. Obviously, you guys don't want people who in a negative atmosphere. So I definitely choosing my own DLT. I definitely took into account. I've seen them in Key Club. What have they done to benefit their division, as well as knowing them personally, knowing their interview, as well as their personal personalities. Oh, this person would be definitely a big like. See, this person's more on the serious side. So when we're off track, he will guess. But definitely, running for DLT is definitely a big thing, and it's definitely really nerve wracking. But if you are putting the work for your division and you really do have that passion, to you that you are qualified and you are ready to learn along the way. So
Uh, so okay, okay. So in order to get to DLT, there's an application process and there's an interview process, and the structure of I serve we have DLT, and then in the DLT within it we have head coordinators, and then under the head coordinators are coordinators, and altogether that's the division board. So what comes out first is the DLT application, and so for my term, I had 30 applicants, and it was really hard to choose who should be on DLT. I think it really comes down to if I know you as a person, because and it's not vendetta or anything that I have anything against anyone. It's just that if I know you, go to DCMs and you go to service events, yeah, like if I know you well enough, based on just key club events, I think that you're a really dedicated person. Secondly, if whether or not you're an underclassman or an upperclassman it really depends. Like for example, it's if you're an upperclassman, it would be a little bit you have to be a little bit more qualified because I kind of prefer more underclassmen so that because that they're more the future of the division in a way. But obviously seniors are really cool. Liana, if she's watching right now. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. And let me see what I say. Dedication, underclassmen, and it doesn't really matter if you know a lot about what you're supposed to do yet, as long as you're willing to learn new ideas and stuff.
So, quickly for DLT for 35 West, very similar to them, application. We also do an interview, and since it's kind of farther for longer. I did two separate locations. So I did one at my house and I did one at Dylan's house. So two separate locations so people can meet. But again, choose not unbiased. Choose based on their past Key Club history. Are they attending events? Are they involved in Key Club? Basically. What the region team is. So you guys might be wondering how the region team becomes, the actual region team. There's no application, I guess. It's just the lieutenant governors and the district board members. So lieutenant governors, and then we have Decon Cham Sayer or district tech editor Roland, KLC Lindy, people who were chosen by the district board as a position. So if you are district governor, treasurer, or secretary, you're not on region team. But basically, region team, we come together. We work under our region advisor to help plan region events, and we do. We're kind of far apart from each other, so it's hard to have meetings. So mostly we use the internet to kind of connect more with each other. And yeah, that's basically what it is.
I forgot to cover earlier within the I can say my division board, right? Yeah, good. Um, uh, like I said earlier, there's DLT and coordinators, and it makes up the division board. So usually for me, what happens is if you don't get chosen on DLT, I automatically want to appoint you a coordinator, a spirit coordinator, or a tech coordinator. And if you didn't want to apply for DLT coordinators, but it's a separate application and interview process. And for interviews, most of the time, because 10 South is kind of really compact. One in-person interview, and if you can't make it to that one, then I would schedule a special something like that. But generally, it's gonna be in person. But it really depends on the lieutenant governor. And I had my interviews at Honey Boba, so it was good.
For DLT stuff, I usually definitely do ask your specific lieutenant governor because the process could be a little bit different from all three of us. So, yeah.
One more. Okay, is when you get on DLT, it's just warning you that it's a lot of your time. If you don't put in all the effort that expected you to put in, it's gonna be hard for everyone to kind of work together. And is if obviously if you're lacking for a short period of time, people are gonna help you. But if it's kind of habitual, we see that you're constantly not doing your job, then you're obviously gonna get removed. And make sure that you're not doing DLT only for college apps. That's the worst thing ever.
So the next question is, how do you balance academics while being an LTG? Is academics are an important thing. You really want to go to a good college, make your parents proud, make your Asian. And then it does depend on your grade too. Juniors definitely do have a lot tougher because they are going through SATs, a lot more AP classes, and they have juniors definitely do is the most important year of high school. Guy and I we're both seniors, so we do definitely have I say a more lax time with our academics. But Wilson, I guess for us it's definitely well going back to us and me personally. You have to do kind of look at your task and look at your homework as urgency. If you guys are having an AP lit essay due the next day, you should probably do that first before you do your email for DCMs on the time management. Definitely do take breaks for yourself too. Whenever I do homework, whenever I do finish by 8 o'clock p.m. and then I'm gonna take a break. You're definitely do keep your academics up because academics it could affect your lieutenant governor life too and the support of your parents because they may not be as willing to support your if you are lacking in academics. Your time management up and your responsibilities. And sometimes you do have to sacrifice, a little bit of your academics to complete your duties as lieutenant governor.
Oh my god, Galen. Oh, wait, what was the question again? Okay. So, yeah, junior year is for most people, yeah, junior year is the hardest year in high school. But honestly, for me, academically, I think it's the hardest only because I really myself during sophomore year, and I feel like and freshman year as well. Like I started taking AP classes in freshman year, and I think that really kind of prepared me for junior year. Or like AP classes are still really rigorous, but I feel like I'm more used to my time academically and SAT time to study for that. And what else? I don't. I just developed really good habits in the beginning of your high school career, and you won't suffer as much now in your later years.
So is like I really set a clear line between being a lieutenant governor and like education. So during the weekdays, when I'm at school. So I'm doing schoolwork, I'm getting my homework done, all that stuff. I do it at school. And then Key Club is like when I can start working on stuff. But of course, coming home, like doing homework, like I give like an hour or two for homework. And then I was like all night from like what, like 5 to 9 is like Key Club work for me. Find a line that like you can kind of balance both. Like don't be trying to do okay, I know people do it, but like doing emails like for division updates like during school hours, like I don't do that because I'm at school for like 8 hours, so I might as well just do work for that and then another 5 hours for Key Club. So just find a balance between the two, like get like clear for myself so I don't try to get over in Key Club and like kind of neglect my academics. So yeah, that's personally what I did.
So another big thing time is knowing that doing everything yourself is not the best thing to do. Get your tasks to your DLT because that's what they're there for. To lighten the load off of you and just to kind of like really help you out. Like that's for so don't be afraid to use your DLT. And if you're a president, don't be afraid to tell your board to do whatever you want. And if you're DLT, and if you're DLT, don't expect that you got appointed and you're not going to do anything. You're going to be doing a lot of work.
Hoy asks, what's the address of the CNHQ1 district office? It is 8360 1 no 8360 Red Oak Street, number 201, Rancho Cucamonga, California 91730. I think so.
Okay. Um,
Pediatric trauma. I'll send all the children home.
Okay, so somebody asked March, what's your riot security score?
no, it's not.
Okay, but how does your club work alongside your campus, your school unit? Um, so for my home club, Seth, and our key club really collaborate on anything. The where people can kind of is for the trick or treat for UNICEF, but really clear that the one that says Kiwanis is the one that's for Key Club, and the one that doesn't say Kiwanis is for UNICEF. It's like we don't really collaborate because, and don't worry about them. Like your Key Club is a key. Okay.
My particular homeschool doesn't have a UNICEF, but one of our schools, Danbar Key Club, they do have, or Danbar High School, they do have a UNICEF and Key Club. Who really collaborate as much, except for the what Wilson said. It kind of depends on what they do that year, but usually they meet up at location boxes. But whatever money goes into which box goes to Key Club, or whatever money goes into their own box goes to.
Personally, none of my schools have a UNICEF club, so I don't really have much to contribute to this question.
It says, thanks for singing our PTP song. Of course, it's a really good song.
Okay. Four core values of Key Club, and if you were to create a new one, what would it be and why?
This is like a conclave PTSD. The four core values of Key Club, otherwise known as LIC or CLIck, is leadership, inclusiveness, caring, and character building. And I think I would add definitely initiative because we are the world's oldest and largest student-led service organization, and whether you're a member, officer, lieutenant governor, or even district governor, or even Kiwanis, you would definitely do want to lead by example. You definitely do want to lead the charge. You can't expect people to make change if you aren't willing to make change yourselves. So I say this goes for like important quality of an officer or a good leader, or even what would you add is definitely was it initiative. So people definitely do take the charge and definitely do reach out to your communities as well as other members because it definitely does make a big impact on them as well as your community. So, moving on. Okay.
You don't want to answer that one? No. Okay. You should have put the question. How do you deal with DLT members who are not completing their tasks on time? For my DLT, I laid it out really strict. Basically, on the first meeting that we had, thank you for helping me hold my mic. We had together. I had them basically write their own contract, like a 3-strike system. So if they get 3 strikes, then they're removed. Basically, had them write their own contract, like what do you guys think deserves a strike? And they basically wrote. We basically composed like a whole list together. And there has been I had to issue strikes to a few people, but really like kind of person, like I really want to have a constructive talk before I do give them a strike. So for me, before I give my DLT members a strike, I have like at least a call with them for 1 hour to kind of give them constructive feedback and to try to tell them what to improve on. Do the same for me, like what can I improve on, and then collaborate from there. But did I answer the question?
Yeah, I think you did. So for me personally, it depends on yourself too, but I'm definitely more relaxed in my DLT, as well as I need to be assertive at times. There are cases where during our term I've caught certain DLT members. Some are watching right now, so kind of low key calling that, but certain DLT members may be off task at a DCM or maybe at another division event. But sometimes I do, remind them later on, not during the event in front of members, because obviously we have not a good thing to do, bring out like the negative side to your members the members you serve. Definitely want to talk to them individually, but not, not make it constructive. And just remind them that you did sign for a position, you did, And the thing about lieutenant governor is you appoint your DLT, and then is that you can get rid of any DLT member at any time you're choosing. That's kind of a big reminder for them too that hey, if you guys aren't keeping up your duties and you aren't on task and you aren't taking it seriously, then to replace you, someone who can do your job maybe even better than you could, because it all comes down to your attitude and your work ethic. And definitely you do want to uphold that. And especially for our division, like what Wilson said, some things listed in there are like attend all DCMs, have 50 service hours by the end of term, a member of good standing, attend events, stuff like that. Keeping up with their service agreement form that they signed with their parents as well, then they can be kicked off of DLT. Yep.
Oh,
Okay, so with my DLT, I really don't have any work with it. Oh, I'm really lucky that my DLT is extremely hardworking. The one thing that I usually tackle with them more on is like behavior and like kind of like personality conflicts. Sometimes that's usually the one that I'm going to this time. But like it's you have to be you have to, when you approach your DLT, like you have like this team that you chose, and in ways it more more accountable for their actions because you gave them a chance, but if anyone in your team is not working at an adequate level, I always recommend constructive criticism, because you never want to hit, because that kind of like pushes their mindset, and it like it can hurt them like internally. So I approach more of like, I understand where you're coming from, so I always put myself in their shoes and give them the criticism from there, because you never want to be like, oh no, you're not doing anything, because that's absolutely not true. Well, I mean, just in my case, um which it really like here are some tips that I have for you that incorporate into your DLT work to not only improve how you function, but like how you can contribute to the division, like overall, because at the end of the day you have to think about the division, and the DLT is a really big part of the division. So um as a lieutenant governor, it's tricky to tackle DLT, but at the same time you do have to be strict and to the point. Okay.
Oh, that's
Oh, it's not a question. Okay. The next question is, how did you deal with friction between yourself and other district board members? Yeah, that's a definitely good question. Like in like a higher pressure environment, higher pressure work group, definitely you are gonna butt heads. There's governors, and there's I know like a dozen more LT members. We all have our different personalities, we have our different perspectives of things. We grew up in different areas, different families. In any workplace, you're gonna butt heads with your coworkers. But definitely the thing is, you have to keep in mind as even our region team, we've had disagreements too. And sometimes they do get out of proportion. We do take our own time to say, hey, let's stop for now and come back to the topic later on when we're all cooled down. Hey, let's not bring any personal issues into our discussion, because let's keep it to all on deciding, like, let's all decide conclave date, and then if things get heated between two people and they start bringing personal things, we just say hey, stop, and then come back later on. And definitely you got practice tolerance too. Like, do things that annoy each other from time to time, but we are lieutenant governors together. We are on district board, and we all want the same things. We want the best for the district. So that's definitely a thing you want to practice tolerance, and always remember that people have the same goal in mind, and they definitely work from their heart. Next question then. Okay, actually, there's three questions. So, how long did it take for you to become an LTG? See one.
I'm not sure this like conceptual wise, like how long, like being in key club, and like the actual like time period. Um, but if you're asking for time period, it's from conclave to decon, which is like but how long did it take to become a lieutenant governor? Well, kind of like your start in key club, basically. It's like I remember learning about service, the basis of the club. You might run for and remember you might run for and become an officer position, getting to know more about the background and like how key club functions behind the curtains. So it's using that experience, and then because that's like the main position, like the like kind of like the overwatcher of the whole key club system around the division. I guess it's kind of like the question. I don't know. I don't really know how to answer that one.
To become who you are right now.
Oh, that's so deep. A lot, but I'm really happy to say that Key Club gave me those provided me some of those walls that I needed to tackle. That if I wasn't in Key Club, I wouldn't have discovered some of these obstacles that I used to overcome and like improve myself as a person. Um, okay, so a lot of like self-esteem issues, like doubt. A lot of that was like me not up, and then entering Key Club, I got to like and explore my weaknesses, them into strengths because of Key Club. Like so many like experiences for you, and you have to utilize to get something out of Key Club because high schooler and you could just go to class from like and then live your life like that. But Key Club gives you more of an opportunity outside of school, which is really cool.
How many responsibilities do you have? Ooh.
Okay, so the question is, how many responsibilities do you have? As a lieutenant governor, you have basically like infinite, a huge step from that's like like being a vice president. I was like, okay, I think I'm somewhat ready to be a lieutenant governor, right? So entering the position as LTG, I was like, okay, I need to, take into account before you're in charge of like the officer board, the home club. Now, as a lieutenant governor, your work is basically like 10 times 100, like from concentrating on one school to like 35 once like oh, that was like a huge jump. And it's like it's kind of crazy. All the things that you have to consider as lieutenant governor every day. How is each club doing? How is region team doing? How is district board doing? How is committee work? DLT work, officers of your home club, officers of the other home clubs, Kiwanis. Oh my God, like the list really goes on. But it's your job to kind of balance it out and do your best like no matter what and just not give up on the responsibilities that you basically signed up for. um and it is overwhelming. I know that's a lot of concern for people who are running to be lieutenant governor, like especially at CTC. You guys saw basically a rundown of what we do. It's not easy. It's definitely not made so that you can have like um just like lay back and take the position. You really have to work hard and get things done. Basically, sign up for it. Question.
This is an extremely important question. What came first, the chicken or the egg?
I always said,
I said the egg.
yeah, I would say the
I
egg.
say the egg.
And it makes the most sense. Maybe because like there was like some like deformation while
Okay, it's getting deep
egg
now.
or the-
It's getting deep now. Okay.
yeah, no, like
I know.
not until 1925.
Alright. What was your biggest challenge in selecting DLT members?
Big challenge in deciding who LT is well, okay, so most of the time, most of the people who apply for DLT, I kind of already know who they are as a person already. So there's really no big issue on that. The hard thing is people that I don't know, because I have a really view of them, and so I definitely really have to ask more about their own personal life if they have any like if they are I don't know, this might sound weird, but if they have like any issues or whatever, that Key Club might kind of be another burden on them, or how well they might work with other people, or really, I just really had to get to know them even more time in the interview, which is like 15 minutes, and make, like the best decision, or you can make like a decision that you kind of regret. Now I don't regret any decision I've made in people on DLT, although I've had a couple resignations. It only happened to make me stronger.
Alright, so guys, gonna be back. What are some ways to prepare for caucus and speeches for conclave? For speeches, don't do what I did. You know this? No, I wrote my conclave speech the night before the conclave at like 2 a.m.
Okay.
So I never got to. I didn't prepare, or I definitely didn't prepare for my speech as much as I should have.
I wrote mine.
But
No. I started my speech like a month before actual conclave, but I didn't really actually touch it up and write it until the night before.
yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, same here. Like I thought about what I want to say, but I didn't actually sit down. Actually, it was past two. Okay, I wrote it the day of conclave, basically. But for caucus, I definitely do think I think caucus and speeches are go hand in hand. Both are really important. Your first initial, you definitely your strongest platform, and as well as some so caucus. There are like the generic questions that people ask, like what is the most important? What are your strengths and weaknesses, and like vision. These are stuff like when I was running for lieutenant governor, to think to myself like, hey, what do I say to this? The question during school, you're doing homework, you think like, hey, how am I gonna answer this? Take the time to sit down, write it out, have someone read it over, or actually read it over yourself, or maybe even read it out loud to your family. Public speaking is definitely one of my biggest, or weakest attributes. So definitely do practicing in front of a lot of people is definitely a good. It was. What are some ways to prepare for caucus and speeches for conclave?
Ooh, fun. All right, so caucus was probably the scariest part entering conclave. So I really wanted to run over the questions. Like, if no, okay. So what I did was that TTC, you guys get a leadership training pack, and that has like all the questions, like 100 questions or something. So I basically referenced myself off of that, the list, and I kind of chose the questions that like I feel like these are the questions that are going to be asked of me. And basically, you can't go line to line, like have something memorized, like line by line. You just have to look over the question and brainstorm some of the ideas that you have, and you're really gonna have to rely on ideas and turning them into like an actual response during conclave. And I basically just went over that. And for the speech, um I made a guide for my division on like for conclave. And what I wrote was like, for the speech you have to get it by the week of conclave, or you're gonna be stumbling. And during the day of, just like go over the whole entire speech all day. Each minute you need to practice that speech, because if you forget and like you just stop talking in the middle of the stage, like it's not going to go well. So utilize the time that you have in the candidate room to go over each section, make edits if you need to, last minute edits, last minute add-ons, and just practice and practice and practice, because if you don't go over it, you will definitely forget it. And you can't rely on your note cards, because it's just gonna, like, like reading your note cards all the time, like, while you're doing your speech, it's gonna make you look bad. Want to be doing that. So, and just keep going.
Okay, so for speeches, was someone touched me there? For speeches, it's a little bit. I find it a little bit easier to prepare for, because you can practice it in the shower. You can practice it before you go to bed. Shower is the best place to kind of do it. And a lot of my ideas and what I want to do kind of comes from the shower. Like I'm in the shower, it's like, okay, what should I say? What should I do? Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. And yeah, speeches are really a lot easier than caucus for me. Um, but yeah, the main chunk of caucus is that you don't want to prepare by rehearsing your answers for each question. You want to prepare by really knowing what you believe in and what your actual platform is, so that when they're what was I? Question about something like, let's say, what would you do to increase bonds between your school? Like, you know the answer top of your head, because about a solution for this, you understand what you're gonna do. It's gonna state what your plans are for that. It has to do with like thinking kind of like 360, and think to pinpoint every single issue that you have, or every single good stuff that you want to maintain, and kind of just like hardcore study.
So basically, a summary of what Wilson said is go into conclave thinking that you're going to be lieutenant governor, where you have a plan of what you want to do for your division. definitely like if you have thought about these things, you can formulate an answer in your head right off the top. You can put filler words to make your answer seem a lot better, but you can answer and say, "Hey, I want to increase membership this way." Confidence, you already have that plan, so it's a lot easier. So,
But if you don't have a solution off the top of your head, people stumble all the time. You could just say, readily at my disposal. I'll get back to you. Like, you can just
yeah, but definitely choose when you do say that, because if someone asks you like, how would you improve your division, and you say that, then they're like, what?
yeah. If it's like a really complex division, don't freak out. You know. Like,
uh,
I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
It's been-
The added core value. I was like, I know. Okay. So this is a probably a lot of questions that you guys might be thinking of, and it's what do you do if you don't get elected as lieutenant governor?
okay.
That's interesting. So feel like sad, and you're gonna have like sadness for a few days, but you just gotta brush it off and realize that Key Club is made so you have a chance to be a leader and has so many more opportunities than just lieutenant governor. You can be a club officer, you can run for DLT, which I highly recommend. Like if you are running for lieutenant governor, it means that you love the division. So you might as well just run for division leadership team. You can run for like district board. Like that was definitely what I was thinking of. Like if I didn't get lieutenant governor, I wanted to go for district board and work more on a wider level. Um, Executive positions, district governor, secretary, treasurer. You go for committee chairs. Like if you want to be more involved with like, you can go for Kiwanis family and foundation chair. Like there's so many different chairs. There's like district. There's okay. So, all right, and then also there's like different positions like district tech editor, district visual media editor, like district news editor. So many other different positions for you. There's just so many options for you. Like, don't let your mind be stuck on like you didn't win lieutenant governor, because there's so much out there for you in Key Club besides lieutenant governor. And don't be that person who you didn't win, so you completely just quit Key Club. Like you're gonna regret that decision. So like explore your options more in Key Club, because that is not the only position that you can get.
oh, yeah, so yeah, going back what Guy said, first and foremost, don't drop out of Key Club, because to lieutenant governor, you're a third or fourth year Key Club member. You've been an officer for many, many years. And you have all this Key Club knowledge that, where some people don't have the same opportunity as you did the last few years. So it's really sad and disheartening when you see, people drop out of Key Club if they don't get elected lieutenant governor, because it's like hard work and all this passion they have for the organization. It's just fun. Definitely heartbreaking. Where even if I saw maybe a candidate this year, if they dropped out, I would definitely, I've seen these people grow for many years, but they've lost that motivation and passion to a different position, because whether you're an LTG district board member, even a member, or an officer DLC member, you're making a difference somehow, and you still take advantage of your opportunities to reach out to other people and inspire them as well.
So, running as a sophomore, I really didn't feel that. I felt like opportunities, even though I didn't win LTG, but magically, I don't know, it just happened. There's so many other opportunities. There's 7 committee chairs you can run for. There's 3 coordinators you can run for. You can run for DLT, club board, division board. You can do everything. The number one thing that we all recommend is don't quit, because you're doing a disservice to yourself and to if you're running for LTG, that means that you from the organization really kind of inspire who you are and impact you as a person. After Key Club has done so much for you and you're gonna quit of a loss, it's like it's not rude. It's like you taught me this and I didn't get what I want, so I'm leaving. Bye.
Let me see.
And then district board.
I'm gonna do a short commercial break. You guys should buy Division 10 South merch. We have batting packs for $12, caps for $12, shirts for $10. We have pins for $1, lanyards for $4. What else do we have? We have Lays. We have what else? Lanyards. Okay, pins. Keychains. Keychains are $2. Lanyards for $4. They're really good, high quality lanyards. Lobster keychains you can use for your acrylic keychain. That on one side is there's a blue turtle, on the other side it says Dividend South.
Oh, and then also shout out to Josephine Pham because she said she called us handsome.
Okay. Next question is, how does it feel to be running against, a lot of people, as a lieutenant governor? Like you might be running like against like, like 2 to 5 to 6, who knows? I don't think personally for me, I ran against 5 other people, and I didn't really like focus on that. I focused more on my platform because I didn't have time to be thinking about other people and like what they were gonna say because I had to focus on myself first. I had to get myself developed first. Um, doesn't matter if you run against 1 other person or 10 other people. Like it really wouldn't matter because you know you have to believe in yourself and you have to really believe that you are the best candidate for the position and just go for it and don't let other people influence your motivation like at the beginning. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely when you're in the candidate room, depends like what you're at. Our conclave is like forever. It's like 8 hours, but during that time, I personally felt that the time passed on really quick because you're there reciting your platform, your speeches, and whether you're running against 10 people, 1 person, or you're even the only candidate, one else, focus on yourself because you're there because you think that you could be the best lieutenant governor for the division. You think you're the most qualified. Be confident in yourself. I think confidence is the biggest thing. If you are nervous, just smile because even if you're unconfident, if you smile, your body produces like hormones that make you like confident. Just trick yourself into being confident.
So if you see the LTG and the whole running thing as a friendly competition, it makes life a lot better. Like, really, I don't talk to somebody who I ran against. It's not my fault though. But yeah, just find it as a friendly competition and make sure that you guys are still friends afterwards. And question again? I kind of forgot. Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't really answer the question. If you're running against several people, you don't compare yourself with other people. Compare yourself only to yourself. Yeah.
Get through more. Speak round. So we'll
Oh yeah. Okay. So on the topic of like Wilson was saying, like don't compare yourself with other people. I want to remind you that if you do get the position of lieutenant governor, or just like if you do get any position, leadership position at all, you should never come to the point where you're comparing yourself with other lieutenant governors, because it really demeans some of the work that you do and different circumstances and different approaches. And like you shouldn't, like if you're a small division and you're comparing yourself with a lieutenant governor of a large division, of course like things are going to be different, but you have to focus on your job and your craft and really not try to compare yourself with other people because it will bring morality down. Want to keep going and not try to like catch up to someone when there isn't a race at the beginning. So
So what I would used to do is I would compare division that I serve with a lot of other divisions, especially those that are bigger. Yes, that was very. It wasn't helpful. Looked at what I'm looking back at now is what was achieved the last term and what was achieved now. Membership has dropped. Our service hours are our funds raised for PTP is up there. Our beer stick is up there. So
Oh yes.
so
yes.
yeah, just stop focusing on other people and start focusing on yourself. You'll realize how much you've accomplished.
So this question is, how do you balance time between school and extracurricular activities? Okay. So definitely depends on what you're involved in. Personally, I'm involved in actually I don't want to say, but I'm involved in like be also on the track team. Like you aren't if you're involved in a lot more, there definitely is a lot more responsibility at the clubs. Just remember that if you are elected lieutenant governor or if you're like even a high position officer, you want to find balance between time. And people say you want to balance things, but balancing because you have to sacrifice key club for another job or key club for officer position. But definitely do balance it out if you guys are if you feel like you're sacrificing too much for key club and you're sacrificing and you're neglecting another club, definitely do maybe take a little break from key club, get involved with the other club because you want to be fair. Key club is the number one thing. You have to purely be involved in key club. No, you should other people what they deserve to like your attention and your hard work.
No, we have like
4 minutes left. Okay. Okay, so I want to talk about priorities as a lieutenant governor. Of course, you should definitely, focus on key club because that main focus mostly for extracurriculars wise. Um, for me personally, I like key club is like my priority. So I have other clubs, but it's like kind of like on the side. But key club is like my main road. Um, you have to change your focus as lieutenant governor because well if you ran like you probably like love key club anyway, so having it be your priority is not that bad. um but what I do see with other lieutenant governors is that problem like having a job because it does get in the way sometimes, like you have like shifts and stuff, so you need to like kind of like balance that out and really see what works for you personally.
for my school, I'm saying my school because my school. No, my school because like my like not talking in the key club sets because we're talking in academics. Okay, okay. So my school, our class, junior class is extra class. We're like super extra and really ambitious. So like the starter pack, if you want to be extra, is an NHS. Okay, and then on top of that, you have to join. Well, like join other clubs, and a lot of people found their own clubs. But do because I'm also in volleyball and orchestra, other honor societies, and key club. Kind of like let that kind of aside and really put key club first. And on that, when I have nothing really else to do for key club, which is like I don't know how to explain this. Okay, so most of the time it's like 100%. It's not. It's like 80% key club. Then like something like
Okay. Next question. Next question. What is your first choice district committee, and how would you make an impact on the district level? Okay, so shout out to SP committee, best committee in CNH. Um, service projects. I'm not particularly strong in. Yeah, I'm not strong in graphics. I made my literature and like Microsoft Word. I'm not really strong in graphics, so I definitely chose like I definitely chose like service projects. My passion is in service. I definitely want to take my knowledge as like a club officer as well as a GLT member to give people advice about what they can do, take to their home school and their division. A second part of the question was how would you make an impact on the district level? This means, but from an LTG standpoint, whatever you're doing as an LTG, you are making an impact on district level. Your service hours, if you're fundraising, it helps them reach their fundraising goal. But from district level itself, kind of limited more. Do reach out to other LTGs, talk to your region team, support system for your fellow LTGs as well as district members, because we are in like a pretty high stress situation where 100 plus people at a time. Oh, it ended. So yeah, you want to definitely be that support system, make people feel included, especially.
Oh, what was the question? Oh, first choice district committee is decon committee. Yeah, you should go to only $5 plus 13 or 15. All AJ Raphael, good food awards, friends. I'm a part of decon committee, so what we do is we kind of like the tedious stuff because the quantity help us organize the very big overarching areas of decon such as obviously you know contracts for the stage or whatever. Like they help us with that. We like help with like the activities. We help for marketing. Decon and stuff like that. Really cool. Hi, Felicia.
Okay. Oh, for my committee, my first choice was Kiwanis Family and Foundation. Shout out to KFF. I love my committee. Shout out to my committee chair. He's Zeus. So what we focus on is building and supporting this family through like different ads and different manuals that we make. Like we make like the chartering manual, we make the key leader, all that kind of stuff. That's our focus. And I definitely chose this committee because I wanted to get more involved with my Kiwanis because, like Key Club is only one part of the branch. I wanted to focus more on like the second part. And I'm really glad to be a part of it. We're gonna be at the Kiwanis Family Expo, the Kiwanis Expo this year at Decon. So make sure to come check us out. Really fun time at Decon, and I love KFF.
Make sure you go to Decon. 194 early on registration. $85 for hotel because 170 for people.
Submit to the January SOSP tomorrow and send any photos to Alex Gatus at cnhkc.sp@gmail.com.
But in reality, all committees are good.
Yeah, all committees do.
We work
Yeah, they
like anything at Decon. If we didn't have Decon, or we couldn't brag about our services at Decon.
Okay, Wilson's gonna wrap up, but basically, basically the district.
Will go if KFF.
The district is successful because of all the committees as well as all the LTGs working together.
2 minutes. 2 minutes overtime, so
it's okay. Let's go 30 minutes more.
All right, but we want to thank you guys all for watching.
Okay.
I hope you guys got your for those who are running for lieutenant governor. I wish you all so much luck. This is gonna be a crazy move, so just take every moment and treasure it. Some experience for you if you do become a lieutenant governor. And yeah.
Oh, and if you're still iffy about whether or not you want to run, you shouldn't be because your service agreements. I don't know. Conclave is in what 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks together, and like if you still feel like kind of hesitant, just go for it still. And if at the very last moment you think you still can't do it, you can drop out like the night before, like it's fine. But you should, but still you should still. And if you see any of us like really pushing you to run for it, we wouldn't push someone who don't want to do, because if they don't want to do something in the first place and they do it, they're not gonna put their full effort into it. But if we are telling you that hey, you should really go for it, that means that we know that you can do it, even though you think.
And yes, sorry if we didn't answer all of your questions. And if you guys do have any more, feel free to contact us personally. This doesn't mean you guys can't talk to us. Yeah, like we're all LTGs, but you definitely we are your friends too. So definitely do ask us if you have any questions. And to all the lieutenant governor candidates, whether you're from my division or from CNH, definitely, we believe in you guys. We were all in your same positions too. We were all like in bullets night before. So yeah. So yeah, you want to say goodbye? All right.
Oh, you should buy caps $12 batting packs.
Okay, so yeah, good luck to everyone. If you are feeling nervous, that is normal. If you feel like you're not like normal, that's definitely what I had. Um, and do your best. I'm gonna say goodbye on three. Ready?
Right.
One, two, three.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.